we go, the referee is happy. Tara Stanley raises the arm, gets this game underway.
Sorry.
England against France in this international. A little bit scrappy there from the French early doors. And it's really two sides need to settle quite quickly, Kyle Amor.
Yeah, absolutely, Sharon. You know, obviously, the earlier you can get into the game, the better. Both sets of players really wanting to do well for the country. But they've started France with an error, and it's a goal line dropout.
What Emily Rudgell have been saying there is just a little bit of composure. Just, you know, they'll have a game plan. Get back to your game plan. Get back to some structure. Complete some sets, and just, you know, a little bit of composure, and it'll come.
So England on the attack once more. Shona Hoyle drives away forward. Again, the French defence comes through. Ramos in there, but Hoyle somehow gets away and keeps going. The tackle not completed. Good yards gained extra there for England. Jones takes a place at acting half. Takes it herself. She's got support. Crowell on the right-hand side. Decides not to pass it. Tries to go herself.
Tara Jones will do that all day. She was met earlier by Balassi, but this time by Borak.
Here's Cunningham once again, attacking on the left-hand side. There we go. Amy Hardcastle, she sails through. Here's going to be the first try of the afternoon. It's going to be England. It's going to be Amy Hardcastle, and England finally break that deadlock.
Yeah, great try. That just came off the back of a great run by Shona Hoyle. A couple of really quick plays. Tara Jones went behind the ruck. Frags were on the back foot, and that's where the space is created.
Yeah, a couple of times earlier on in the piece, they've seen that combination, that link between Cunningham and Rudge. But this time, Rudge is out the back, and she supplies a beautiful pass to Hardcastle, who steps hard off her left foot. And when that girl's running at that pace, she's so difficult to stop.
So Tara Stanley with the conversion attempt. She's kicked 6 goals against Wales in that mid-season international in Warrington back in June. Can she add to her tally in international colours this afternoon? Yes, she can, and from that position, I didn't want to talk her out of it at the time. He put the commentator's curse on right in front of the sticks, and it never happens. But Stanley makes no mistake with that goal. 6 points to 0, England lead, and that will steady the nerves.
Yeah, much better shape there from England. I just think, Sharon, half an hour gone. Don't underestimate the impact of what this French side are doing against England. You know, they have a goal as well. And Emily Rudge gets half a break.
And keeps it alive as well, quite nicely there with the ball coming free. It's with Shani Crowell now for England. She pushes away one defender, can't manage to get away from a second, and goes to ground. This is better now from England, looking to just pick up the pace as they attack into that French 20. Cunningham now with the step. Good few yards there coming from the England standoff. Getting back into position as Jones goes to acting half, to Stott. Stott looks for support, she's got it coming through. She finds Vicky Whitfield. Whitfield going forward, and there's a second try for England. Easily done in the end. Good build-up, good position, and England extend that lead.
Yeah, it's Paige Travis with the try. Just a hard line underneath. Managed to get the palm out and palm people off. She was in terrific form, particularly in the playoffs.
Tara Stanley prepares to take the conversion. Again, should be relatively straightforward, as you can see from the angle there. What a beautiful blue sky as well as the kick comes through. The goal is successful from Tara Stanley. 2 from 2. England with that 12-point advantage.
Yeah, Stott, she shows Hoyle, which means there are the results that Ramos overchases Beth Stott, and it provides a gap there for that girl, Paige Travis, to get a first try in England colours. What a great moment that must be for herself and her family watching.
Kakul tries to look for the offload, doesn't get it away, and has to play the ball and restart things with Ramos. Keeps it moving along the line to Varela. She's brought down. The halfbacks really not had much chance to get involved really for France, but they've not had really the possession to start to see what flair and skill that they've got in a creative sense. A forward pass as well, I think, incidentally, on there. Yeah, just a little bit. Giving England the possession back once again. On from the bench then, Vicky Whitfield driving forward. Whitfield, another player from St Helens. She returned to the sport this year after a couple of years after an ACL injury. So she's done well to be back on the international stage quite as quickly as she's managed. As Cunningham now with the ball for England, a little no-look pass there to Emily Rudge, and I think that's a sign of the understanding between those two, that's almost telepathic at times between those two players.
Yeah, Vicky Molyneux.
Was it Vicky Molyneux?
Yeah. They've got the same sort of hair. They've sprayed their hair, so you could understand why.
It was easy with Emily Rudge wore the scrum cap to pick out the ponytails.
Yeah.
So Stanley then at acting half. Along the centre of the field, going up the middle is Shona Hoyle. Hoyle is brought down. Again, France still hunting in packs coming forward for that defence, but the gaps are starting to open up for England.
That left edge, they always seem to have numbers on that left edge.
Here's Cunningham to Rudge. Rudge once again to Hardcastle. Hardcastle still got support. Rudge keeps it moving. Here's Cunningham once more. Will she go herself? She will. She tries to get her arm over the top of the defence. The tackle comes in. France doing a good job at the moment, keeping that defensive line intact. Still England attacking on the left-hand side. Is this a third try? Is she over the try line? The referee says no, just short. Here goes Jones. Keeps it moving. Rudge sees a gap. Rudge goes for it. Rudge gets the try. England now very much in command.
All come off the back of hard, strong carries there. Whitfield, I mentioned when she come on the field that she's been in terrific form, and she just does what every front row should do. The France right edge is at 6s and 7s there. Look at the space. Rudge just shows the ball. Sliding defence, 1 metre off your own line. You can't do that. You've got to commit, got to land on a body. And if you just wait and back off, well, Rudge, she's too class. But when you're stressed and you're lacking in numbers, between your edge, you've got to make a decision and go land on bodies in front. You can't wait and just paddle with 1 metre of grass behind you for the try line. It's pure physics then, if the girls are running towards the try line, you're just waiting a metre to go. You're just going to get carried straight over, and that's what Emily Rudge does. Mind you, she did have to do a little bit to finish the try.
So the second half ready to get underway with Elisa Syria of France to restart play for the second half. England leading by 16 points to 0 in this international as both countries continue their preparation for what will now be the 2022 World Cup. So the kickoff goes long downfield, taken by Beth Stotts for England, and a big carry going forward now from Vicky Whitfield, another one of those St Helens players. She drives forward and is met by that French defence. She's made some good yards since coming off the bench in the first half, as England try and make a little bit further forward as well. It needs to be steady progress, doesn't it, Kyle? Just nothing too dramatic in these early stages of the second half.
Yeah, absolutely, Sharon. Obviously England now with 3 carries and straight away over the halfway point of the field. And they'll just look to sort, and that's a lovely ball there. Rudge goes through.
Great ball from Rudge, back to Cunningham. Cunningham up the centre of the field. Will she be caught? No, she won't. She will kick out of that tackle. And Jodie Cunningham gets the second half off to an ideal start for England. Jodie Cunningham with the first try of the half. 3 outstanding carries, but it's this ball from Cunningham there to Rudge. Them two know each other inside out. The bigger the game, the better they seem to play. Supplies Cunningham back, who just has the presence of mind and pace to get under the posts. We talked as well in the first half about almost the telepathy between Rudge and Cunningham, who've known each other from being kids. They were at school together, and you can really see as Tara Stanley just makes good with a conversion attempt to take the score out to 22-0. Ramos prepares to take the ball from acting half, and play restarts once again. So France then with their best attacking passage of play in this game, keeping things moving across the centre of the field. That's good work there from the centre. Pastra Courtine, she's brought down by the English defence. Beth Stott just gets to her feet and clears away and allows that ball to be played. Here we go again with the forward, Basalhi. Great effort from her trying to drive forward, but better effort from that England defence, pushing her further back. France still in command. Ramos once again keeping it moving. Goes through pairs of hands in the centre of the field into space, though. That's a little bit sloppy, but picked up by Caressa, who finds support from Syria, who again tries to go forward and again is driven into the ground. England's defence doing good work. Ramos again going on the shorter side of the two, trying to find support, trying to find a gap with Song Poosh on the wing. Good defence comes in the end from England, and the attack eventually snuffed out. So Emily Rudge then, England in good position now from that kick for touch. Jones is at in half, she's got support from Hoyle. Hoyle tries to find a way through, meets that wall of blue shirts, can't get through. Hoyle is met and will have to play the ball to Jones. Out wide to Stott. Stott finds Cunningham. Cunningham's got support. Here goes Travis again. Can she get a second of the game? She's got to be held short by the look of things. Good work from the French defence, just pushing her back. So once more, England in a good position with Jones. Jones to Stott. Stott to Crowell. That was a defence right on top of her as she took that ball. Did well to hang on to possession for England, did Shani Crowell. And once more, England try and find a gap up the centre of the field. Oh, will Stott go wide? Stott finds Rudge. Rudge goes. Rudge stays on her feet, and Rudge goes in. That's her second try of the game. It looked like it would have been Cunningham a few moments earlier.
Yeah, look how tight the French girls are again. Like when the ball went to that right edge, I think, even just a quick count, there was 11 players within that half of the pitch. So, they're going to get some real joy just getting that extra 1-2 pass out and away from that ruck.
And Beth Stott taking over the kicking role. Beth Stott, the regular kicker for St Helens. She also took over the kicking as well against Wales earlier this season. Tara Jones for England. Again, the tackle comes in. Yeah, two defenders coming in. Leila Besalhi, the
something going
loose
on
forward.
between them two.
She's put herself about of it, hasn't she?
She has. She's made a real impact for France as a loose forward, without a doubt. As a tackle comes in on Shona Hoyle for England. 3 French players in there with that tackle.
Go, tackle 3.
Jones once more. She probably just glanced up there to see where Besalhi was before passing it away to her right-hand side. And the kick comes downfield for England. That just curls away and goes nicely. Good chase coming in as well from England. But picked up by Song Puch right on her own dead ball line. Great defence from England. Coming in, Vicky Whitfield with that tackle.
Like I mentioned earlier, they found it very, very easy to get away from their own try line and yardage of England. But you know, an early kick, really just wanted to, I think it's just to keep turning France around and just rob the energy as we head into the final quarter of the game.
Cunningham takes the ball from the restart, then the drop out from underneath the post. England in a good position. They really could do with some more points on the board here from that English point of view. Shani Crowell goes forward inside the 10, looks for the offload and finds it with Jones, and Jones goes in. What a straightforward effort that was in the end, but good work from Shani Crowell in the build-up. Tara Jones, the try scorer.
You know, 3 in the tackle there, 4 in the tackle, and then she's just turned her back thinking, oh, the tackle's done. And
yeah, Lagout there, she switches off thinking that the ball's complete. Well, it's not until the ball's on the floor. And unfortunately for France, the next time the ball is on the floor, it's with Tara Jones and her hands all over it to the left of the post. Goes in for another try.
Not quite sure why. What would that change have been around? Just for one goal there, Andrea?
Oh,
no idea.
Don't ask me, I don't know. Well, Tara missed one from a similar position earlier, so maybe it was just for Beth to get her boots in. But yeah, I think again, moving into a World Cup, you want more than one option for a kicker as well. So it'll just be to keep both ticking over, I assume.
I've just noticed there she struck the ball. She's a left-footed kicker. And Beth Stott, when it was her turn to kick, it was more a right-footed kicker's opportunity really, just to the left of the post. So maybe that's the reason why.
She's brought down, the defence coming through, still in 2s and 3s, the French still trying to get through that work in defence as England come rolling forward with Shani Crowell. Crowell again turns her body as she goes into that tackle, again looks to get that ball away, and the tacklers just drop off slightly and enable her to get 2 or 3 yards further forward. But England in a good position, 20 metres out, once more in the centre of the field. Great ball from Jodie Cunningham, finds Stanley. Stanley gets it away as well, has Hardcastle in support. What can Hardcastle do? Can she step around the defence on this occasion? No, she can't, and a penalty is awarded for a high tackle. This sets England up nicely.
Penalty right in front of the sticks, 12 metres out. Hardcastle coming back on that angle, testing the middles of France.
And up the centre of the field goes Gracefield. Driving forward, gets the legs pumping a little before that defence comes in, rolls forward. England very close to that line now with Jones. She's got Crowell in support. Crowell again turns her body as she takes that tackle. Jones, Cunningham, along the line, keeps it moving out wide, straight to the feet of Caitlin Beavers. And she couldn't take that pass. It died as it got to her, but she was in space there, and surely if that had just been a little bit crisper, that would have been another England try.
Yeah, right idea.
So France then in possession, still inside their own half of the field, combing up the centre. Cindy Mansard, the hooker, she's got support, and France tries to keep it moving, but just not quite sharp enough, crisp enough, or in enough space really to make any progress there on that set.
I mean, is what I'm saying, although France are staring down the barrel of a 34-0 loss at the moment, I feel that they'll be pretty happy with how they played in this second half, and if they could have just fixed out those completing those first 6 sets, which they failed to do. This second half we've seen a number of kicks being good kicks for France. If they could have just replicated that at the start of the first half, then it would have really been a good solid performance from France.
And France looked like they were trying to find a gap there on the right hand side. It bounced but come back up with possession despite the attention of Caitlin Beavers, and France looking for support here, keeping that ball alive. Great work there from the French 3/4. Couldn't quite manage to get any further through, and Song Puch plays the ball to Syria, but play just stops. And you can see there just the attempt of the tackles that it took a bit of stopping with that play coming from the French.
Kevin.
Yeah, it's a great offload. That's a great one-handed offload. But credit to England there. Credit to England on that scramble as well. And like Kyle said, they've not stopped playing. They've pushed. They've got those little tips, and they're really hard to defend. If you don't wrap that ball up and you switch off, they can, they can really catch you from behind. So
potentially a bit of a reshuffle for the England side with Amy Hardcastle as France continue to attack, breaking through up the middle of the field. Alverne goes. She's taken some stopping. Crowell in with the tackle for England. This is the last for France. What can they do?
Okay.
Chip kick comes through from Syria. That's going to have a little bit too much on it. Just goes behind the dead ball line in the in-goal area. But that, I would say, has been France's potentially best attack of the game.
Yeah, and then Woozy transitioning from defence to attack and gets on the outside of France, and she's still going. That's a great kick return.
Rachel Woozy certainly has pace. She scored 2 in the Challenge Cup final as St Helens beat York City Knights on that occasion in June. Goldthorpe now from acting half. She gets around one defender. Now she tries to get a bit of pace into a game. Good support from Caitlin Beavers, her Leeds teammate. And Caitlin Beavers canters behind that try line and scores for England. Very much wrap this game up now, but what a combination between the two.
Yeah, super stuff. Rachel Woozy starting it all off. That Goldthorpe can do what I said earlier, beat anyone one-on-one, steps back inside, and as you know, that supplies the pass there for Beavers, who can just stroll in and go to the left-hand side of the sticks. It's 38-0 with a kick to come.
So the conversion attempt to come then from Tara Stanley. Slight angle as you just saw, so we'll see how she makes up with this one, and that's good too. Not long left on the clock now, but they'll be wanting to see things out for the full 80 minutes this afternoon as the pass to Emily Rudge goes to ground, picked up swiftly by the French, and they get the possession back again in a decent position in the England half of the field. Let's see if they can break their duck before this game is out.
I thought that was knocked on by the French player, to be fair.
Lovely ball over the top.
Yeah, nothing given. Play carries on. Akpa carries the ball forward. The vice-captain for France.
Move with me.
Tackled by two of the England players, including Emily Rudge. As Mansard goes forward now.
3!
I think the urgency in defence has been good from England today as well. The line speed's been very good, and they haven't really given France much room to play in. Apart from the odd offload from France and that, I think they've pushed really well, scrambled really well, so I think the defence has been good.
That's something they're going to have to do better, with the World Cup in mind, and Australia and New Zealand and teams like that. They're going to have to be much better in contact, not allowing that ball to come out.
Bernard for France playing the ball. It's shifted back towards the middle of the field. A little low ball there going to Melis Borak. Again, perhaps a hint of a forward pass, but nothing given from the referee. This is the last of the set for France. Back to Syria, who's very much taking the bulk of the kicking game this afternoon. Beautifully taken by Patrick Courtine. Back inside, and France get their first and probably only try of the game through Melanie Bianchini. France get off the mark.
That's a huge score. They all come running in, celebrating. Why wouldn't they?
Well, it's not given yet.
Robert, can we take a look?
No, the referee going to refer it to the video referee, who is Robert Hicks, this afternoon. A try given on the field. So let's see how this looks when we see the replays from this game.
My initial thought was I couldn't really see anything wrong with it. Maybe a possible obstruction as the kick gets caught. But other than that, everyone's on side for me.
Yeah.
It's this part here, maybe, no, that's a try for me. I can't see how that can be chalked off. It's a great finish, and the try's given.
And I think that's probably deserved by the French as well. England clearly in the second half been very much in command, but a deserved try from the French. See the concentration on the faces of the players as well when it comes to the conversion attempts, zoning out from any noise that will be in the stadium, which the crowd will be filling up, I would imagine, ahead of the start of the men's international too. And that's just shaving the paint off one of the uprights, so no conversion added. But what a try really from the French.
Yeah, super stuff. Crossfield kick. No, the French are the first ones to deal and react with it, and as a result, Bianchini gets over the line. And again, what a day it's been for the women's game. These girls continue to break new ground and change history for their game, and it's super stuff that we've been able to see these pictures on BBC, showing it across the country, hopefully to inspire the next generation of players coming through.
So a 40 points to 4 win for England. You can see the emotion on the French players' face, just the fact that this game has even been staged this afternoon. But a comprehensive win for England, 7 tries in total, 2 from the captain Emily Rudge, as England have beaten France by 40 points to 4.